Hello, hello, and welcome to this episode of the Happy Workaholic Podcast. I'm your host, Kellyanne Gorman. I'm a business, LinkedIn, and podcast coach, as well as a luxury brand consultant, and I help business owners take their brands to the next level by implementing my personal techniques when it comes to growing their service, sales, and social media. Over the past 20 years, I've helped grow multiple brands in the beauty, hospitality, health, and luxury travel markets. I've exceeded all of their expectations, and I'm here to share my tips and tricks on how I did it. Inspiration, motivation, and determination are what got me to where I am today. And trust me, living with an autoimmune disease is never an easy task. So you can definitely expect some pretty crazy stories shared here as well. Don't forget, the after show happens after each episode in the Happy Workaholic Podcast Facebook group. And that's where I'll be every week to answer all of your questions. Now, if you want to hear any of my exclusive news first, just visit thehappyworkaholic.com. Scroll down to the bottom of the page and sign up for my weekly VIP newsletter. Now let's get started with today's show. Hey everyone, welcome back to a brand new episode of the Happy Workaholic Podcast. I'm your host, Kellyanne Gorman. I'm the creator and founder of the Happy Workaholic Network. Now, if you're unsure as to what that is, it's coaching and consulting for your business, your LinkedIn, and of course, your very own podcast. What I do is I put together very specific coaching programs, and I really help take your brand to that next level that you deserve to be at. Now, a while ago, aka last year, I decided to put together a series called I Chose This Life series. And what this would entail was to feature other female entrepreneurs, other women running their business from home in a 9-to-5 career, or maybe even in a Fortune 500. So life happened, and I was in and out of the hospital with my lovely little autoimmune disease, and I moved, and there was just something always holding it back. And a couple months ago, I said to myself, you know what? This is happening on episode number 100. This is going to be the launch show. This is going to be so monumental. Oh my God, I literally have been doing so many Facebook and Instagram lives today. I probably should have recorded this episode before that because I've been so tongue-tied. But I'm going to get through this show. And I do not edit my shows if you've been listening for a while. So this is the real and the raw deal, people. So anyway, I decided that episode 100 would be the launch of the I Chose This Life series. I am so fucking excited to share these female entrepreneurs with you guys. They are going to be so monumental, like just listening to them. They're so inspirational, motivational. They just get the job done. And I'm so excited about this series. So basically, here's the rundown of what this what this series is going to entail. I'm going to read this right from my website. So if you have any other questions or want to see more, you can just visit thehappyworkaholic.com and then click the tab I Chose This Life series. So the I Chose This Life series is going to be a weekly series that's featured right here on the Happy Workaholic Podcast. And that special day is going to be every Wednesday. That means my solo shows will continue to be launched on Friday. So you're going to be getting a double dose of myself and female entrepreneurs, like I mentioned, on Wednesdays. Weekly, I'm going to be showing up weekly. That is huge, and I'm so excited about it. So I'm going to be interviewing inspiring female entrepreneurs, and that is going to be, again, on every Wednesday. These are women who have chosen their path to be in health, fitness, entertainment, writing, beauty, finance, real estate, hospitality, as well as other professions. I know that's like a long list, but it's actually short compared to what I am showcasing every Wednesday for you guys. So you're going to be hearing from a different guest who will share their journey, their struggles, milestones, and personality as they keep it completely raw and real. I mean, they have to because I do, so I don't want anybody hiding any stuff when they come on my show. Am I right? So you're going to be learning about their biggest motivators and why they chose the business and life that they are living right now. I mean, we all have a journey and we all have struggles and motivators, and they're just gonna, like I said, keep it real and raw and share with you and myself why they're doing what they're doing. Like, what is the path that led them there? We just want to keep it real. So they are going to answer a list of questions that I've already sent them, and they're going to be answering them throughout the show. And the discussions, of course, are going to be fun, fearless, and focused on career. So this is something that you are definitely not going to miss. These conversations, you are definitely going to want to get a notebook and a little pen and take a lot of notes, because these women are so inspiring and motivating to me that I just cannot wait to share them with you guys. So it's every Wednesday starting next week, because today is the 28th. It's going to start next week. And we're also going to do something extra special. We're going to be doing a Facebook Live for an after show in the Happy Workaholic Podcast Facebook group. So if you aren't already a member, just head to Facebook and join the Happy Workaholic Podcast Facebook group. And that's where we're going to do after shows. We're doing Q&A. So if you want to learn more about them, I'm going to have them on a live broadcast. So I'm super pumped up. I'm so excited. This has literally been a year in the making. And if you guys want any more information, just visit thehappyworkaholic.com and you can find it out all there. Now, something extra special that I saw yesterday was one of my online friends. Well, actually, I've met her in real life in Vegas. It's so nice to meet the people that you've had friendships with online for years, to meet them in person. You're like immediate best friends, right? It's so amazing. And we're so lucky to be living in a world like that now where those things can happen. So she sent me a message on Facebook and I was so confused who Alexa was. And then I'm like, oh, Alexa, you listened on Alexa. I worked a 14.5-hour straight day yesterday. It was so intense. And I slept good last night, so I'm like a ball of energy today, if you can't tell. But she has an Amazon Alexa, the Echo, and she said, Amazon, play the Happy Workaholic podcast on iHeartRadio. And she played it, and I featured it on my Facebook and my Instagram, and I couldn't believe it. It was so cool to hear my voice coming out of Alexa. Those are just goals, people, just some goals. And if you haven't heard the news, the Happy Workaholic podcast, the show you're listening to right now, is available on iHeartRadio, which is so insane. I thought that wasn't going to happen until 2019, but I made it happen in 2018. And that, my friends, is what dedication is all about. I pitched and pitched and pitched, and they accepted. So I'm not sure if you're listening right now on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Android, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, Spotify, iHeartRadio. If you are listening right now, excuse me, here comes the cough. I literally will have bronchitis for the rest of my life. I just think that's just how it's going to be. If you are listening on any of those platforms, if you could take a screenshot and tag me on Instagram at The Happy Workaholic to show me that you're listening, I have some special treats in store for you. I will also feature you on my IG stories, and I'm so excited to see what podcast platform you listen to my show on. And if you are on, you know what, please hold. I need some serious agua. Okay, I'm back. So what was I saying? Oh, I have a special treat for you. If you post them on my IG stories, tag me, and I'm going to post you on mine. And then also, huge favor to ask of you. If you listen to my show on Apple Podcasts or iTunes, if you could take 2 minutes out of your day and write me a review, not just a star, because I have 5 stars, and I'm so grateful for that. But if you could leave me a review letting me know what inspires you, what you love listening to, because it's really going to help me for 2019, providing more content for you guys for your business, LinkedIn, and podcast, as well as in your personal life. I have a lot in store for the rest of 2018, but I really want to see what you guys would prefer listening to. You can actually tag me on Instagram and Facebook at The Happy Workaholic. You can write me a review on iTunes, which I read them all because there's only a few. Wink, wink, hint, hint. If you could leave me one, I'd really appreciate it. But yeah, so that is all of the info for the I Chose This Life series. This is the kickoff show because I wanted to explain to you exactly what you should expect and prepare for, which is an amazing show because I'm bringing on guests. I've never brought on guests before, and now you're going to hear these amazing stories from these incredibly motivating and inspiring and just badass female entrepreneurs. I've been pitched a lot to have some male bosses on the show, but right now I just want to keep it female inspired. So you never know what happens in the future, but right now it's all the ladies taking the stage for Wednesdays I Chose This Life series. And again, my solo shows will be on Friday. And then something else I wanted to share with you guys is that now that I'm on iHeartRadio and I am broadcasting to a global audience, I'm in 43 countries as of today, November 28th. And I just want to let you know that if you have a product or you have a service and you want it in the hands of specific people, you want it online, you want a following, you really have something special that you've created and you're so passionate about it, if you sponsor a podcast episode, that is the perfect opportunity for you to get it in front of eyes, ears, in hands, etc. So if you are interested in sponsoring a podcast episode, I have a few spots because, like I said earlier, I'm doing a double dose of this podcast. So now, instead of giving one commercial each week, I'm giving you two. So if you have a brand that you want me to spotlight, please reach out to me and you can email me hello@thehappyworkaholic.com or obviously shoot me a message on Facebook and Instagram. And I would love to show you everything that you get for your money. It's not a big buy-in whatsoever. It's super affordable because I want to keep it real. I want to involve as many small business owners as I can for those specific podcast sponsorship commercials. So if you have any questions about that, send me an email, find me online, shoot me a message. I'd be more than happy to go over all the details with you. It's going to be such a fun year. In 2019, I'm getting more of you involved with the show. I just am so grateful for your reviews, for your tags, for you listening in the 43 countries. Like, I never thought people would honestly give a shit about my show. I hoped one day I would make money from it. I launched it within a month because I thought I was going to go blind from this autoimmune disease and I needed to find a way that would make me money. And now it is. And I'm just so fortunate. Thank you so much for listening. It seriously means so much to me. I never thought I would be in this position right now at episode 100. It is just like so insane. And I'm sorry that I swear, but you know what? I'm passionate about what I'm saying and what I'm producing and what I'm, putting out there. And I just have like the worst mouth. And I'm sorry, but that's just how it is. So I had to mark all my shows explicit just to keep me safe on all these syndicated platforms. Now that there's 10 of them, it's hard to keep track. But yes, so to round up this show, again, I am so incredibly grateful for everyone listening. And all you have to do is write a review on iTunes or tag me on Instagram so I can feature you on my stories. And let's connect. I want to connect with more of you online. I want to meet more of you in person. If you're in San Diego, that would be amazing. I have plans to be traveling in 2019, so I will keep you updated on that. I announced on my Facebook Live that today that I have something else that's live happening in 2019. So hopefully it's going to be, most likely it will be the first quarter of 2019. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. If you want to hear all the scoop before anybody else, what you're going to want to do is join my VIP email list. And you can do that by just going to thehappyworkaholic.com, scroll down to the bottom of the page, and you can sign up right there. It's super simple. I don't spam you. It's just like my weekly update of like what I've learned, what I'm going through. If I have sales going on, I get you in the loop earlier before anybody else. But today's episode, number 100, is just like what's going on in my life, what is happening with this show, what the I Chose This Life series is all about, what reviews and tags mean for a podcaster. It is so important for us to get them because it just really shows us like what we're doing counts. And that's why I started this show, not just to make money, but be a voice for other people and be a voice and share what I know about business, LinkedIn, and podcasting, and really help grow your business and provide a lot of free content. And it's hard and it's a lot of work to put a show together and to produce it and edit and all that fun stuff. But I love it. If I'm pulling 14 and a half days where I'm not working out like I should and I'm glued to my computer, yes, it's obviously like unhealthy because I was supposed to work out and I ate some delicious carbs for dinner, which I should have had my veggies. But I'm doing it for you. I'm doing it for people listening because I'm so grateful that, one, I have this opportunity to share what I know. And it's just so important to know that it's working or know what I'm providing is great content for you guys. And that's why if you let me know on Facebook and Instagram, like what you want to hear more of in 2019, I'll do it. I'll put it on my to-do list and I'll make it happen and I'll provide all that content in a specific show. So any of your suggestions, I would truly appreciate them. You know where to find me. But I'm ready to sign off. I'm so excited that you guys stayed to the very end and you are listening because I really, really appreciate you. And thank you to all of you listeners listening to the Happy Workaholic podcast on iHeartRadio. And by the way, if you do listen on iHeartRadio, there is a Facebook plugin app and you can have a conversation with me right there while you're listening to the show. I do respond to them and I love to comment there myself maybe a week ago. And it's a really cool way to interact with myself in the show. So I hope that you guys are having a fantastic day. And I will be back in just 2 days with a brand new show. And it's something that you are going to want to listen to because it's going to help you get organized for the new year. So make sure you have your notebook and your pen ready. Until next time, you guys. Thank you so much for listening to today's show. If you liked this episode, please let me know by writing me a review on iTunes for the Happy Workaholic podcast. I would truly appreciate it. As I always say, sharing is caring. Don't forget, the after show happens after each episode in the Happy Workaholic podcast Facebook group. And that is where I am every week to answer all of your questions. Now, just so you know, I have been spending so much time over on my Instagram, and I would love to connect with you over there. You can find me at The Happy Workaholic, and don't forget to tag me when listening to your favorite episode so I can showcase you on my Instagram stories. For any other information regarding the Happy Workaholic Network, leverage your LinkedIn and your podcast production, just visit thehappyworkaholic.com. I hope that you are having a wonderful week, and I will talk to you again soon.